This little ring that I want to start with is based in 16 gauge wire, and my whole kind of point in making this was I wanted to figure out how to make a band ring that didn't have ends someplace that I had to deal with. And so I needed to pull the ends into the center, and I've seen a couple done kind of like this, so I thought, well, let me give this a try. So what we're going to do is we are going to start with a 16 gauge wire, and whenever I use a heavy gauge wire like this, what I like to do is I like to use my my double flush cutter, which some people call these memory wire cutters. I just call it a double flush cutter. This one happens to be from Xuron. We don't have any in stock right now, but a double flush cutter is, these are hard to find. The key with a double flush cutter is when you cut it, it's going to make a flush cut on both sides of the metal. Okay, so like this side is flush and this side is flush. And if you're not planning on hammering or soldering or filing your piece of metal, you want as flush a cut as possible on the end. So I actually use that double flush cutter when I cut this heavy gauge, because even if you use a flush cutter on this, sometimes it can be a little bit difficult just because it's a heavier gauge. So then I'm going to grab my wrap and tap plier, and what you want to do is you want to leave yourself just a little bit of that metal sticking out from the wrap and tap. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your wire, and I'm using that medium size on the wrap and tap. I believe I think it's a 16 millimeter, and you want to make sure that you make a nice consistent coil. So you're just going to go up and over that little one that you started with, and you just want to kind of wrap this around, and I'm going to go around a total 5 times. So on the bottom it'll look like 5, and on the top it'll actually look like 6. So that's 4, and now I'm going to go around one more time. So you can see as I get to the bottom here, you see how I've got those 5 coils there. You could do more if you want to, but I found it was not very comfortable on my fingers, so I thought 5 coils was just perfect. So now what you're going to do is you're going to cut this, and you're just going to leave yourself a little bit on both sides. That makes sense? You will trim it a little bit, but those little guys are just going to give you a little bit of space. Now, if you're wondering what these beads are on my fingers, these are going to be the cat's eye from yesterday, but I find these to be quite luxurious. I think they're gorgeous. So what you need to do is you need to get these 2 wires into the center of this piece. You see how that's kind of done in those 2? Now, see, they're on the outside on this one, and now they're on the inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to split the wires in half like so. So I've made myself a little space in the center. That's where I'm aiming for. And then you're going to take each one of them. So you're going to pull them over from the side, and then you're going to pull them into the center and just try to mimic the curve of the ring. If you have a hard time doing that, you can actually grab your wrap and tap and kind of curve it with that. It kind of helps just a little bit to use that. Or you can just kind of hand form that into the center. And then you're going to do the same thing with the other one. You're going to bring this one up and over like so, and into the center of that ring. And so they should kind of crisscross into that center piece. And honestly, it doesn't have to be perfect, guys. If you're trying to make it perfect, then you're going to struggle for sure, because I just got like a weird little bend in this, and I'm just trying to fix it right now. There we go. All right, so now what you have is those 2 wires kind of crisscrossing. Now they're in the center, and then the bottom of it kind of looks like this. They kind of have little overlapping pieces, and after I cut, what I usually do at this point is I just kind of let it be a little bit loosey-goosey, and then I kind of fix this up after I create the rest of the ring. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take this longer one, and you are going to make try to make sure I got my bends at the bottom there. There we go. You're going to actually bend it off to the side. See if I can get a hold of the right one there. She says confidently. Here we go. You're going to bend that off to the side like so. So you're essentially just making a little 90-degree angle in that. I'm going to use my double flush cutter again and clip off that. So you're going to need about 3/8 of an inch. Pretty standard measurement for one of these loops. And then I am going to roll this into a circle like so. And it's gonna pop up just a little bit from the center right now, but I'm going to use a different plier then to kind of bend that back down. flush with the ring. So it should be kind of sitting right there on the top. And I'm just gonna give it a little squeeze so it's a little bit smaller and it's right in the center of my piece. Okay, so from there, what you need to do is you actually need to make another loop that intersects with this loop. So I've got a little bit too much wire here. I just want it to go just past this loop that I've made. So I'm gonna clip that off, and then I'm just pull it out a little and pop it through the center of that. See how it's kind of sticking out? Let me see if you guys can see that. I'll try to put it someplace where you can really see what I've done there. So it's kind of popping out of the center. And then for me, I found the easiest way to do this was to grab it with my round nose plier and give it a pull, a little tug here, and then roll it up and over that one. So see what it's doing? It's kind of almost made like a little place for you to put things, which is exactly what it is, a place for you to put things. Now you can see everybody's a little bit loosey-goosey for me here, so I'm just going to kind of shape it up. I like the crosses to be across the bottom of the ring, not across the middle or the side, because I think it looks a little bit prettier. So I just kind of use your fingers. No extra tools needed. Just kind of use your fingers and hands until the bottom looks about like that. And then the top part, what you want is it just to be these kind of solid looking bands that come across. And so like if this one's a little funky, like I got mine just a little bit funky, you can kind of pop it onto a ring mandrel and just work with it just a little. Also, I'd like this little knobby piece right here to not be sticking up quite so far from the ring. So I usually give him a little nudge down with my hammer, and then I'll do a little bit of hammering here. See how that kind of smoothed that part out right there, and a little hammering on this side, and then just a touch, just to get a little texturing along the bottom, and then a little bit more on the other side. And that usually kind of shapes it up, and I'll usually kind of bring it around, turn it around, and do the same thing from the other direction. And if anybody decides to be in a weird spot, I'll just kind of work him like that, hold him in place, and give him a little hammer. And that will just almost kind of glue it to where I want it to be. And so then, let's see, I've got another one of these that I thought kind of turned out really, really nice. I think it was this one right here. So you can kind of see how I've got this. So there's the top. Here's my little connection right here. So one ring goes one way, one ring goes the other way. And then I've just got the wire along the sides, and the wire along the sides, and then my two little crisscrosses across the bottom. It feels very comfortable on your finger, which is one of the nice things about this ring. So like on this one, I'm going to even it out just a little bit so it looks a little bit more like that one, and I'm going to kind of compress those beads in. And I've actually taken and hammered it and done a little bit of polishing on this one, so it looks really nice. Now, easy. What are you going to do with this now? You're going to decorate it. So for me, I thought it was really pretty to add some of these little fiber optic cat's eyes. So I'm just going to pop that onto a head pin, and I wanted to wire wrap them just because I think it adds a little bit more, I don't know, it just brings it up a notch rather than just doing the one-step looper. I mean, I always think anybody can do a simple one-step loop, but if you actually take the time to fully wire wrap them, I think it gives it a more artisan appeal. So I like to do the extra, just a little bit of extra work to wrap those head pins and those pieces on there like that. It gives it a little wire work at the top. And since it's all handmade ring, it's nice to have that piece as well. So just added one of those little sapphire looking ones there. And then I'm just gonna grab one, just a different shape. This is a little coin. All these sets of fiber optic beads have have coins in them. All of them have the oval coins and the round coins, and all the different shapes. It's just each one has a different color representing each different shape. So sometimes the blues are these coins, and other times they're rounds, and it just kind of depends. So it's a really, really nice set because I love all the colors, but the shapes are also a lot of fun. Okay, so I'm just wrapping that on there, and these are just the ball and head pins. I apologize that they are sold out, but you are able to grab that 16 gauge wire that I have in the show. The silver plated will work great for this, and then the cat's eye fiber optics are also available. So super easy to do. I thought that was kind of fun. I mean, I know it's a bigger look, but I think that's nice on a ring because like everybody was asking about this ring today on Jewel School. and I wasn't planning on doing it. I was planning on doing it during the show, and it just, the look of it, I think, it just catches your eye because of the size of it. So look, now I have 2.